Peekaboo! Guess who? It's me. And here we are with Mission 3, Lesson 31 of our math today. And our student objective for this lesson is to be able to interpret division word problems as either number of groups unknown or group size unknown. So basically, we're going to be given story problems or application problems. And we have to interpret that, whether we are trying to figure out the groups or the group size. We're going to jump into the last part of the Tower of Power so you can understand what they're really asking here. So let's take a look at that last tier of the Tower of Power for this lesson. Here is one such problem. Okay, so we're going to be given this application problem, and this is directly from the Tower of Power. It says 375 books were donated to an elementary school. If each student gets 3 books, how many students will have received books? And it wants to know, what does the 3 represent in this problem? Okay. So again, 375 books were donated to an elementary school. If each student gets 3 books, each student's getting 3 books, how many students will have received books? So it's asking us, what does the 3 represent in this problem? Is it the number of groups or is it the size of each group? Well, again, each student gets 3 books. So that's telling us the size of each group. Okay? The 3 is telling us the size of each group. Each group has 3. Because each group is the student, and each student gets 3 books. So that's telling us the size of each group. Boop. Okay? And what is the unknown in this problem? Well, what we're trying to figure out then is the number of groups, because we know the size of each group. We know that it's going to be 3. We're trying to figure out the number of groups. Great job. And then solve on paper for the number of groups, then check your answer answer. So how many students will receive books? Okay, so now what do we have to do to solve this problem? Okay, so we have 375 books. Each student gets 3 books. How many students will have received books? Well, I have 375 as my total, and then I'm dividing them into groups of how many? 3. So to solve this, I need to do 375 divided by 3. So let's do that together. So we're doing 375 divided by 3. So it's just the same division steps that I've always been doing now for the past multiple lessons. So divide, multiply, subtract, bring down. Divide, multiply, subtract, bring down. And then repeat. Okay, so I start in my hundreds place. 3 divided by 3. 3 divided by 3 is 1, because 3 goes into 3 one time without going over. 3 times 1 is 3. And then I subtract. 3 minus 3 is 0. And then I bring down the 7. And now I repeat the steps. So now I'm repeating the steps with 7. So 7 divided by 3 is, how many times is 3 going to 7 without going over? 2. Goes in there 2 times. Now I'm going to do 2 times 3, which is 6. And then I'm going to, third step, subtract them. 7 minus 6 is 1. And then I'm going to bring down that 5. And then Rover repeat. I'm going to repeat all the steps over again, but now 15, with 15 as my number. Because I had 1 left over and I brought down the 5, so that's 15 now. So 15 divided by 3. How many times does 3 go into 15 without going over? Well, that's 5 times. I'm just divided. Now I'm going to multiply 5, which I just wrote, times 3. 5 times 3 is 15. And then I subtract them. 15 minus 15 is 0. And then I bring down. Is there anything left to bring down? There is nothing left to bring down. So what does that mean? It means I have no remainder, and my quotient is 125. Let's go back to the Zern problem here. So we solved it, 375 divided by 3. So how many students will receive books? Well, how many again? 125 will. So I'm going to go 125 Excellent. Excellent. Thank you, sir. Hey, and I did it. Just like that. So really the skill is just those division skills. We're working those long division skills we've been working on. And now you're just being asked to interpret that a little more. Like, what does it mean? What does this story problem mean? Okay. So you're just going to have to give it a little thought, because it can get a little, I'll be honest, it can get a little tricky. But you just have to sit down and think about it for a little bit, and you'll figure it out. I know you will. All right. I wish you well, and good luck.